This city is dying. Not from war, not from poverty, not from neglect. It is dying because the ground beneath it is disappearing. Slowly, irreversibly, one rainstorm at a time. The cliffs that hold it up have been eroding for 2,000 years, and the people who live here, all 11 of them, know that one day the bridge will be the last thing standing. The Italians call it La Città che Muore, the city that is dying. It has been dying for 5 centuries, and it is still here. Civita di Bagnoregio, central Italy, province of Viterbo, 60 miles from Rome, 80 miles from Florence, 12 miles from Orvieto, 11 permanent residents. Founded during the Etruscan period, approximately 2,500 years ago. A UNESCO World Heritage candidate. One bridge, one way in, one way out. There is only one way to reach Civita di Bagnoregio. You walk across a 300-meter pedestrian bridge that hangs above a valley of eroded clay and tufa rock. No cars, no buses, no delivery trucks. Everything that enters this city, food, medicine, building materials, furniture, crosses that bridge on foot or by handcart. Everything that leaves crosses the same way, including the dead. Civita sits on a plateau of tufa, a soft volcanic rock that was formed 2 million years ago. The Etruscans found it first. They recognized what the rock offered: height, visibility, defensibility. They carved their homes directly into it. Their wine cellars, their tombs, their roads. 2,500 years later, those carved spaces are still in use. But the tufa that made Civita possible is also what is destroying it. Tufa is soft. It absorbs water. It erodes. Every winter rain, every spring thaw, every summer thunderstorm takes a little more of the cliff. The plateau that once connected Civita to the surrounding hills, the land that made it a city, not an island, has been eroding for 5 centuries. In 1695, a catastrophic earthquake accelerated the process. The last road connecting Civita to the outside world collapsed into the valley, and the city has been an island ever since. In 1500, Civita had a population of several thousand. In 1900, it had several hundred. Today, 11 people call it home year-round. 11, in a city that was founded before the Roman Republic. There are houses in Civita di Bagnoregio where the back wall is the cliff edge, where the garden ends and the void begins, where the previous owner's house, the one that stood there for 400 years, is now at the bottom of the valley, and the current owner has moved their furniture 6 inches further from the window. Coming up, who are the 11 people who chose to stay? And what does it mean to live in a city that the world has already decided is finished? Inside Civita di Bagnoregio, the dying is invisible. The streets are clean. The flowers are watered. The stone is maintained. The medieval church of San Donato still holds mass. The piazza still has its well, dry now, but standing as it has stood for 1,000 years. The cats, there are always cats in Civita, sleep in the afternoon sun, as if the cliff beneath them is not moving. The city was founded by the Etruscans, a civilization that predates Rome, that the Romans themselves found mysterious and ancient. The Etruscans chose this plateau for the same reason every civilization chooses high ground. You can see your enemies coming. You can see the weather coming. You can see everything, the valley, the hills, the horizon, from a position of safety. What they could not see was the ground beneath them, dissolving grain by grain. After the Etruscans came the Romans. After the Romans, the Lombards. After the Lombards, the medieval communes, the city-states that made central Italy the most politically complex landscape in medieval Europe. Civita was part of all of it. It had its own bishop, its own market, its own walls. It produced scholars and soldiers and merchants. One of its sons, Saint Bonaventure, became one of the most important theologians of the 13th century. He was born in a house that no longer exists. The cliff took it. The architecture of Civita is a layered document of human history. Etruscan foundations, Roman modifications, medieval construction on top of Roman, Renaissance additions, Baroque details, and everywhere. The repairs, the patches, the places where the stone was reinforced because the ground shifted. Every building in Civita is a negotiation between human ambition and geological reality. And geological reality has been winning for 500 years. The tufa beneath Civita is not uniform. Some sections are harder, more resistant to erosion. Others are soft, almost crumbly, held together by the roots of the vegetation that grows on the cliff face. Geologists who study Civita describe the plateau as a residual mesa, a remnant of a much larger landform. The surrounding valley was once at the same level as the city. The valley floor is now 100 meters below. That 100 meters, that entire landscape, eroded away. And the process has not stopped. The Italian government has spent millions of euros on stabilization efforts. Steel cables anchor sections of the cliff. Drainage systems redirect rainwater away from the most vulnerable areas. Retaining walls have been built at the base of the plateau. The erosion has slowed. It has not stopped. The city is still dying. It is just dying more slowly. In summer, up to 100,000 tourists visit Civita di Bagnoregio in a single month. They cross the bridge. They photograph the piazza. They eat at the one restaurant. And then they leave. Every single one of them leaves. Coming up, the people who don't. And the extraordinary reason they stay in a city the world has given up on. The 11 permanent residents of Civita di Bagnoregio are not survivalists. They are not eccentrics or hermits or people who have run away from the world. They are, for the most part, elderly Italians who were born here, who grew up here, who watched their neighbors leave one by one, decade by decade, and who decided, quietly, without drama, that they were not going to be the ones who turned off the lights. Living in Civita requires a particular kind of acceptance. There is no supermarket. The nearest one is in Bagnoregio, the larger town across the valley, connected to the modern world by roads. To buy groceries, you cross the bridge, walk down to the valley, take a car or bus to Bagnoregio, shop, and carry everything back, by hand. Across the bridge, up the hill, every time. There is no doctor in Civita, no pharmacy, no school, no post office. If there is a medical emergency, the ambulance parks at the base of the bridge, and the patient is carried across. This has happened. It happens. The residents know this. They have planned for it. They have accepted it as the price of staying. What the residents of Civita have that most people in the modern world do not is this. They know exactly where they are. Not just geographically, but in time. They live in a place that is 2,500 years old. They walk on streets that Etruscans walked. They store wine in cellars that Romans carved. That knowledge, that continuity, does something to a person. It makes the urgency of the modern world feel, if not irrelevant, then at least negotiable. The tourist economy of Civita is both its salvation and its complication. The entry fee, €5 per person, funds the maintenance of the bridge and the stabilization of the cliffs. Without tourists, there is no money to slow the erosion. Without slowing the erosion, there is no city for tourists to visit. The residents understand this dependency with a clarity that is almost philosophical. The people who come to watch their city die are also the people keeping it alive. In peak summer, the ratio of tourists to residents on any given day is approximately 1,000 to 1. 1,000 visitors for every person who calls this home. The residents have developed a relationship with this reality that is uniquely Italian, a combination of pragmatism, pride, and a certain theatrical resignation. They maintain their gardens more carefully because people are watching. They keep their streets cleaner because the city is, in some sense, a performance. But they also close their shutters at noon. They eat lunch at the same time they always have. They take their afternoon rest. The tourists flow around them like water around stone, and the stone does not move. There is a moment in the late afternoon, about an hour before sunset, when the light in central Italy does something that painters have been trying to capture for 5 centuries. It turns horizontal. It comes in low and golden across the valley, and it hits the tufa cliffs of Civita at an angle that makes the stone appear to be lit from within. The city glows, not metaphorically. The stone actually emits light, and in that light, the dying is invisible. In that light, Civita looks eternal. The painters understood this. Civita di Bagnoregio has been painted, sketched, and photographed for centuries. It appears in the background of Renaissance paintings, not as a subject, but as a landscape detail, the kind of impossible rock city that Italian painters used to suggest the ancient world. Except it was not imaginary. It was real. It was there. It is still there. The geology of the valley around Civita is called the Calanchi, a landscape of eroded clay badlands that exists nowhere else in Italy in quite this form. The Calanchi are the result of millions of years of volcanic activity, followed by millions of years of erosion. The tufa plateaus, of which Civita is one, are the survivors. The harder rock that resisted while everything around it dissolved. But even the survivors are losing. The plateau of Civita has shrunk by an estimated 30% in the last 500 years. At current erosion rates, geologists estimate the city has between 200 and 500 years before the plateau becomes too small to support it. 200 years. 500 years. In human terms, that is an eternity. In geological terms, It is tomorrow morning. The Italian government designated Civita di Bagnoregio a national monument in 1990. It has been on the UNESCO World Heritage tentative list since 2013. The regional government of Lazio has invested in stabilization infrastructure. The European Union has contributed funds. And still, every winter, after the heavy rains, the geologists come back with their measuring equipment. And the numbers are always the same. A little less, a little less, a little less. There is a particular kind of grief that comes from watching something beautiful disappear slowly. Not the sharp grief of sudden loss, but the long, quiet grief of watching something you love become less. The residents of Civita know this grief intimately. They have watched houses disappear, gardens fall into the valley. Streets that ended at a wall now end at nothing. They have watched the city become smaller, year by year, in ways that are measurable and documented and irreversible. And they have stayed anyway. The church of San Donato has stood in the center of Civita since the 8th century. It has survived earthquakes, wars, plagues, and 1,200 years of erosion. Its Romanesque facade faces the piazza with the calm authority of something that has outlasted everything that tried to destroy it. Inside, the frescoes are faded but present. The wooden pews are worn smooth by centuries of use. On Sunday mornings, the 11 residents gather here. 11 people in a church built for hundreds. The echo of their voices fills the space that other voices once filled. And the church does not feel empty. It feels concentrated. Every August, something extraordinary happens in Civita. The diaspora returns. The people who were born here, who left for Rome, for Milan, for New York, for Sao Paulo, come back. They cross the bridge with their children and their grandchildren. They open the houses that have been closed since the previous August. They air out the rooms. They sweep the floors. They plant flowers in the window boxes. For 2 weeks, Civita has a population of perhaps 200. And for those 2 weeks, it is possible to imagine what it once was. The August return is not nostalgia, or rather, it is nostalgia, but it is also something more practical. It is maintenance. The houses that are opened and aired and used in August survive better than the ones that are not. The gardens that are tended in August are the ones that are still there in September. The act of returning, of crossing the bridge, of being present, is itself a form of preservation. The city survives because people keep coming back to it, even the ones who left. Every morning, Civita di Bagnoregio emerges from the mist. The valley fills with fog in the early hours, a cold, dense fog that rises from the clay and the moisture of the Calanchi. And the city sits above it, separate, elevated, untouched. For about 30 minutes each morning, Civita appears to float. The bridge disappears into the white, the valley disappears. And there is only the city, ancient, golden, impossible, suspended above the world. The Etruscans who first settled this plateau 2,500 years ago saw this every morning. They built their city in the sky because the sky was where they found it. And every generation since, Roman, medieval, Renaissance, modern, has woken up to the same view. The fog, the emergence, the city above the world. Some experiences are so fundamental that they do not change across millennia. This is one of them. What does it mean for a city to die? Not the sudden death of war or disaster, but the slow death of erosion and abandonment. Civita di Bagnoregio has been dying for 500 years, and in those 500 years, it has produced art, theology, cuisine, architecture, and community. It has been loved, deeply, specifically, personally, by the people who were born there and the people who discovered it. A dying city that has been loved this much is not really dying. It is transforming. The children who visit Civita today carry something away with them. Not a souvenir, not a photograph, a scale. A sense of how long things can last. A sense of what human beings are capable of building and maintaining and refusing to abandon. In a world that replaces everything every 5 years, Civita di Bagnoregio is a 2,500-year argument for permanence, for staying, for maintaining, for refusing to let the beautiful thing go. The 11 people who live in Civita year-round are not heroes. They are simply living where they live, getting up in the morning, making coffee, tending their gardens, crossing the bridge when they need to, coming back when they are done, and staying, always staying. There is a word in Italian, radicamento, that means rootedness, the state of being rooted to a place. The residents of Civita di Bagnoregio have radicamento in a place that is literally losing its ground. And perhaps that is the most extraordinary thing about this city. Not its age, not its beauty, but the fact that people are still rooted to it, still here, still sweeping their doorsteps, on a plateau that is 100 meters above the valley floor, on a rock that is slowly, quietly, inevitably becoming smaller, and choosing every single morning to stay. Civita di Bagnoregio will not last forever. Nothing does. But it has lasted 2,500 years. It has outlasted the civilization that built it. It has outlasted the empire that conquered it. It is still here. 11 people, 1 bridge, 1 church, 1 piazza, and the most beautiful light in Italy, every evening, for free. If Civita di Bagnoregio made you think about something, a place you love, a place you left, a place you are afraid of losing, leave it in the comments. What would you stay for? What place for you is worth crossing the bridge every day? Tell us below. And if you want to see more places like this, places that refuse to disappear, the next video is already waiting. The world is full of cities that should not exist, and every single one of them is worth knowing.